What if I told you that most of what you've been taught about happiness is kind of wrong? In this explainer, we're going to totally deconstruct what it really means to live a rich life. We're diving deep into the science and psychology behind what truly makes us feel fulfilled. And trust me, some of the answers are probably not what you're expecting.
So let's just start with this number because it really stops you in your tracks. A report from CNN Money found that a whopping 84% of Americans are unhappy with their job. I mean, that's not just some statistic, right? That is a quiet epidemic of people feeling stuck. It points to this huge gap between the success we're told to chase and the happiness we actually feel. It's like we spend our whole lives climbing a ladder only to realize it's been leaning against the wrong wall the whole time.
And that really brings us to the big question we're tackling here. If we're all working so hard, chasing the promotions, the bigger paychecks, why does that lasting sense of happiness seem to slip through our fingers? Let's figure this out together.
Okay, so if the traditional chase for success isn't the answer, what is? Well, a really good place to start is by busting a huge myth, the one that says more money will automatically make you happier. As we're about to see, the connection between our bank accounts and our well-being, it's a lot more complicated than you'd think.
So what's the magic number? When you ask people, what do they say? Well, a recent study found that Americans believe they need an average salary of over $284,000 a year, per year, to be happy. That is a very, very specific and very high target.
But here's the twist. Here's what the science actually says. For a lot of people, once your basic needs are covered, the happiness you get from more money starts to level off, big time. It's like there's a happiness speed limit. Research suggests that for most of us, happiness does rise with income, but only up to about $100,000. After that, you get way less bang for your buck.
And this whole effect, it actually has a name, and it's a really important idea in psychology. It's why winning the lottery doesn't always lead to a happily ever after. It's called the hedonic treadmill, and it perfectly explains why chasing more can feel like you're just running in place. Ready to see how it works? Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so hedonic adaptation. It's our brain's incredible and sometimes, frustrating ability to just get used to things. Think about the last time you got a brand new phone. Remember how exciting that was for like a week? And then it was just your phone. That's hedonic adaptation right there. Our brains are basically hardwired to go back to our normal.
A great way to think about it is like a thermostat for your mood. Big life events, good or bad, might crank the temperature up or down for a little while, but our mind is always working to get us back to that default set point. The question is, can we actually change the setting on that thermostat? We'll get to that.
Now, this is where it gets really wild. This isn't just a theory. It was put to the test in this incredible study back in 1978. Researchers looked at two groups at the absolute extremes, people who had just won the lottery and people who had been paralyzed in accidents. And the result was mind-blowing. In the long run, neither group was significantly happier or unhappier than a regular control group. The thrill of winning faded, and unbelievably, the accident victims adapted and found new ways to be happy. It just shows you how powerful that internal set point really is. So, if we can't just earn our way to permanent bliss, what are we supposed to do? Is it even possible to buy happiness? Well, the research suggests something really interesting. Maybe it's not about how much money you have. Maybe it's about how you use it. We might just be spending our money on all the wrong things. So much research now shows there's a clear winner when you're talking about happiness per dollar. Material goods, a new watch, a fancy car, they're nice to have, but that new car smell fades pretty fast. But experiences, a vacation, a concert, learning a new skill, they give us lasting memories. They can actually become more valuable over time. They become a part of our story, a part of who we are. And there's another super powerful way to spend for happiness. And it has nothing to do with spending on yourself. Just think about the last time you gave someone a gift you knew they'd love. That feeling you got watching them open it? Psychologists have a name for that. They call it the warm glow effect. And it's that special kind of joy we get from being generous. And the power of this effect is, well, it's kind of shocking. A huge global study found that donating to charity has a massive impact on happiness. In fact, the boost to your well-being was found to be similar to the effect of, wait for it, doubling your household income. Let me say that again. Giving money away can make you feel as happy as having twice as much. Just let that sink in for a second. This all leads us to a much bigger idea. If a rich life isn't just about a big bank account, What are the real assets we should be collecting? What are the things that actually pay dividends in pure long-term happiness? This might be the single most important slide we look at. Harvard has been running one of the longest studies on adult life in history. They followed people for over 75 years. And after all that time, the number one thing they found, above money, fame, career, anything, the single greatest predictor of a happy and healthy life was the quality of a person's relationships. It's not what you have, it's who you have with you. And here's the best news of all. Happiness isn't just something that happens to you. It's a skill you can actually build. Research done with the firm KPMG tested these 5 tiny daily habits, and they found that even during a super stressful time like tax season, the people who practiced these habits were way more satisfied with their lives months later. They're small investments with a massive, massive return. So how do we pull all of this together? Let's reframe this whole thing with a really powerful metaphor. What if you thought of yourself as a wealth manager, but the currency you're managing isn't dollars, it's your own well-being? Let's build your happiness portfolio. Wealth manager Laura Kuntz really popularized this idea. She suggests we think of our time as our most valuable asset. So instead of just diversifying your stock portfolio, you need to diversify your life portfolio. Are you investing all your time and energy in work? Or are you also making sure to invest in experiences, in relationships, in purpose? Financial security is absolutely an important asset, but it's just one piece of a much richer, more balanced portfolio. And this quote just gets right to the heart of everything we've talked about. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Let that one land for a minute. Chasing the traditional markers of success at the expense of your actual happiness, well, that's not winning. It's the biggest loss there is. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take an honest look at your own life right now, at your own happiness portfolio. Where are you overinvested? And where are you maybe neglecting your most valuable assets? Answering that question for yourself could be the very first step toward building a life that isn't just successful, but is truly deeply rich.